Hey bird nerds, it's time to do a little video message for this week and get some items straightened out and addressed, and it's just easier for me to do this in video fashion than to write everything out, although some of this will have written component and posting to Blackboard that goes with it. First off, lab quiz number 2 closes tomorrow, Wednesday at 5 o'clock. It did erroneously close yesterday, no, 2 days ago, and that was a mistake on the part of the e-learning folks. And I think I said Wednesday. I was looking at a different thing. It closes tomorrow, Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Technically, we say midnight, but technically it closes at 11:59 because 12 o'clock is Thursday morning. Okay, so make sure you do lab quiz number 2. The other thing is there is another quiz out there, and that's the orders practice quiz. About half of you have turned that in. That is a participation-based assignment, so it does count towards your quiz grade for about 10 points out of the 100, but it's participation-based, so you just got to do it, turn it in to me, and I'll grade it, give you feedback, but there's no scoring of that orders quiz. The reason you're practicing those orders is those are going to be covered on the midterm, and you are responsible for those. So more on that here in a second. Or I guess that's now. Looking at my notes here. The midterm is this week, and we put it off from last week and moved it forward, and I have arranged to have it open for 12 hours. Now you only have 1 hour to complete it, but it's going to be up and visible for 12 hours on Friday, okay? So open that up when you're ready on Friday, complete it in 1 hour, and then you're done. You will have a study guide posted. Actually, I have already posted that and updated it. And the other thing that I did is I went back and I narrated the PowerPoint on ornithology, which really was the first 2 weeks of lecture material in this course that I posted early on, and I said, hey, go read this, right? And yeah, giving you guys a PowerPoint to read is a rough way to teach. So what I did is I went back, lectured to it. I saved that as an MP4 movie. It's about an hour long, so it's and it's fast. But you have option to look at it as a PDF file and as that movie, so you can check it out and watch the movie, and then you can study from the PowerPoint, which is in a PDF. Pretty easy to open. Okay, so you've got those resources. Now, as far as taking the midterm, you got that midterm study guide. You got the new narrated PowerPoint, and I'm making this test open resources, except for your classmates. And the reason is it's so difficult with online teaching to say, hey, this is a closed book, no notes test, unless I can, really put the time limit on there and give you 30 seconds per question. And so what I'm expecting is you got an hour to do this exam. And when I teach this class live, the people who know what they're doing take 25 to 30 minutes to do it. And those who didn't study well, don't know the material well, they take the whole time. So you're not really going to be able to just count on the fact that it's open resources and I won't study. If you try and do that, you're going to run out of time, okay? So you got 12-hour window within which to take the test, and then once you start it, you'll have an hour to complete it, all right? Along the lines of what I mentioned last week, or asked you last week about Zoom sessions, I'd like to do a Zoom session later this week and give a little question and answer opportunity, and then we can address anything. I don't have anything formal prepared for these sessions other than say, hey, how's the term going? Let you ask me questions relating to the midterm before we do the midterm, okay? All right, so the other thing that I've made a decision on is, you have lab quizzes now every week, and I have finished all of those, and they're all posted to Blackboard. They're not all available to you yet, but quiz number 3 is going to come open on Wednesday, and it will be good through Tuesday, and then quiz number 4 the following week. All of those birds are in those first 5 weeks on that checklist that I posted. So those are the fair game birds. So some of the things that we haven't seen yet, such as black-crowned night heron, you know, ring-necked pheasant, western wood pewee, those are not going to be on there, all right? But all of the birds on the required list are now rolled forward into that category of fair game birds for the final exam, okay? Now, many of the birds on the list I have seen, and I went through and I was going to make a list of, okay, I've seen these ones, let's add these, and I thought, hey, no, it's just time in the term to say, look, you know, the next testing opportunity for ID is the lab practical, so you need to know those birds. Interesting note, I did go birding last week. I said I wasn't going to, but I did take a break from my office duties here and wander around campus with my binos, and actually had a really fun time with the birds here on campus. And I didn't see many species. I think I saw 9 species. But I got western wood pewee and dusky flycatcher, which is not on your required list. The pewee is, the dusky is not. Right over behind the library, and that was pretty cool. I got good looks at both of those birds. And the western wood pewee and the dusky flycatcher are members of a group of flycatchers that are really challenging. The pewee's in a different genus, but the dusky is in a genus called the Empidanax flycatchers, and empids for short. And you'll hear hardcore birders talk about the empids. And empids are a freaking nightmare. I'm here to tell you right now. Even expert birders, it's like, well, if I can't hear it and I don't see what habitat it's in, I can't tell from a picture. And so they are very subtly different, and we use behavioral cues, song, and habitat to narrow them down, and range map, you know. So anyway, if you want to get into advanced birding, look at the empids. I don't have any empids on your required list. The pewee's the closest thing. And note that we do have the dusky, the gray, and the Pacific slope are ones that I'll find here in the Central Oregon area. Other birds that I saw on my walk around campus, McGillivray's warbler, which is really cool. I saw one out at Ryan Ranch, which turned out being a lifer for one of the students who keeps a life list, which is really cool. When you get into hardcore birding and keeping a list, it's always fun to add something new to the list. So I got McGillivray's warbler right behind the library and some of the thick ornamental shrubs up there as well. And then you know, pygmy nuthatches and house finches rather, and robins, and just cool behaviors and so forth. All right, so everything's now fair game. And this week's lab was to be our big day. And for those of you not really familiar with the term, a big day is, or a big year, we'll talk about that, is simply going out and finding as many species as you can in a single day, or a year, or a big month, or whatever. And the big day is a twist on an old assignment. And the old assignment was we would split the class in half and go birding for 6 hours and pit the 2 teams against one another on the same route. So we walk the same route, but in reverse. So we kind of pass each other and talk some smack in the middle. And then at the end, see which team ends up with the most verified species. And of course, we can't do something like that now, but we can pit each one of you against your classmates, right, for fun. And there's nothing in it other than glory. And we do have some advanced birders in the class, and we have some beginning birders, so don't feel bad. But it's designed to spark that competitive drive in you. So your assignment is to go birding, and the lab period is 6 hours. So I can't say, you know, hey, take a whole day and do this. If you have a whole day, do it. And those of you that have that whole, and technically it's a 24-hour day, so it starts at 12 a.m. and it ends at 11:59 for those of you who want to get out after the owls. I had planned on this week, and the weather is really just kind of bouncing back and forth. We've got some breaks, and birds are there. I mean, the birds are out there. There's no place for them to go, and they have to continue to feed and sing and breed and do all that stuff. But it makes it more challenging when it's cold and wet and windy, and you know, handling field guides and optics and trying to keep them dry. And so you're welcome to do it this week if you want. With the stuff that I got going on, am not going to be able to do this as a virtual lab until next week. So I'm going to be doing my big day next week, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. And everywhere we've gone already is fair game. Anywhere you want to go in a 24-hour period is fair game. Now, if you want to hop on a plane and fly to Arizona, all right, you're going to get a great list, but it's not the list of the birds we're studying. So I suggest you do it here in Central Oregon. You want to be really hardcore, get up at midnight and drive to the coast and start out at owling over on the coast and get yourself a northern spotted owl and a barred owl, and then as daylight comes on, get all your shorebirds, and then start working your way back to Bend and finish up in Bend at dark, right? Yeah, it's insane. But you can get over 100 species in a day if you know where to go. And so we're gonna have fun with that. And that's your assignment, and basically it can be anywhere from Wednesday of this week, which is our official class day, through Wednesday of next week. Do your big day in there. All right, and then the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the end of the term culmination lab at Summer Lake. I'm going to tell you exactly when I'm going to be there, so that you know, for safety's sake, right? Okay. Enough said. Have a great day. Get out there and bird. Oh, I guess I should tell you when that's going to be. I'll give details later as I refine them, but it will be the last weekend of the term before finals, the final week. So I guess that's the second to the last weekend. May, look at my calendar here, 29th. I'm arriving Friday the 29th and going to be there through Sunday the 31st. All right, get out there and bird.